Hello and welcome to my Plan With Me. As you could see in the title, this is my January and February setup combined. At the end of December and the beginning of January, I could not find any themes that felt right. So when I finally decided on oranges as a theme, we were already a couple of days into January. I filmed my setup, but it seemed silly to post it since most people had already set up their bullet journals for January. When I sat down for my February setup, however, I started thinking my January setup could still inspire a few people. And so I decided to put both into one video. As you can see, I am currently working on my cover page for January. On the right, I just wrote January and then had this kind of diagonal border of doodles of oranges and leaves. And on the left, I decided to make a quote page. For this, I chose the quote, "Own your power," to start the year off with a reminder that although the circumstances are less than optimal right now, we can still exert some power and have some agency. I struggled a bit because with the doodles of the oranges and leaves, it looked very boxy and square, and I tried to shake up that shape with a few dots. I don't know how successful that was though. Next up is my monthly spread. I first set up my calendar. If anyone's interested, the spaces for the days are 6 by 6 dots each. Then I drew the boxes on this side, one for my monthly to-do list, one for any important dates next month, as well as one for my Instagram follower tracker. The empty space I filled up with doodles of oranges and leaves. Then I set up my memories page. I drew 8 boxes that are 11 by 11 dots each. At the end of the month, I am going to pick 8 pictures, print them and paste them into these boxes. This way I can just flip through my bullet journal and see the highlights of each month in pictures. It's kind of like a photo album. On the next page, I am creating my Sound of the Month spread. It's just a fancy name for a playlist spread. Just like the Memories page, I select the highlights, this time of the music I'll listen to during the month, and then I write them down here. And last up is my very first weekly. This is just like any other weekly. I wrote down the names of the days, left a little bit of space so I can write my to-dos and notes and whatnot down, and then filled the rest of the space with doodles. And here is my final flip through of my January setup. Now it's time to set up February. For this month I chose a water lilies theme. Ever since we talked about Monet in primary school, I have loved his water lily paintings. I even have one hanging in my room, not an original of course, but a copy. And I guess this theme was inspired by him. However, I didn't want to go all out with watercolors or acrylic paint, so I chose to do a rather simplistic water lily doodle. The quote on the left, "Isn't it the perfect day for a tragical romance?" is actually from the TV series Anne with an E. I adored this series and I'm currently rewatching it with my parents, and it's so much fun, and I just had to include this quote because February obviously is the month of love and romance, and so it seemed fitting. Next, I set up, of course, my monthly spread. And can we take a second to appreciate how perfect the February this year is? It starts on a Monday and it ends on a Sunday. It's 4 perfect weeks. It's just, I'm sorry, I love this. It's so satisfying setting up the little box for my calendar. It's awesome. The boxes for my calendar are 3 by 7 dots. This month I decided to include some habit trackers and a quote by the man himself, Claude Monet. What keeps my heart awake is colorful silence. On the next page, I again set up my Sound of the Month spread. Instead of using the doodles to decorate and leaving a blank space for the song titles to be written down, this time I decided to use the water lilies and leaf doodles as the little album or song covers you see when you listen to music on Spotify. I'm going to write the song names and artists underneath the doodles. On the right side, I am setting up a daily self-care prompts spread. I had a self-care theme last year in February, and as I was flipping through my bullet journal for inspiration, I realized that I wanted to take a bit of that theme into this year's February theme, and so I decided to create this self-care spread. My memory spread, or this month I actually renamed it February in Pictures, is basically the same. It never really changes from month to month. The boxes are still 11 dots by 11 dots. And my last spread for this setup is my first weekly spread of February. For this I drew a box on the left side of the page. I divided that into 7 categories, one for each day, where I can just write down any events. The rest of the page I left empty so that I can do a huge master list of tasks that I might have to do. And this is the flip through of my February setup. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you even got a bit inspired. If you did, consider leaving a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to my YouTube channel. Happy bullet journaling, and I hope I see you guys next time.